Opening in theaters this week and streaming on Netflix on November 10th is the new David Fincher movie, The Killer, and here's my review. Throughout his career, Fincher's directed films involving characters who meticulously plan the actions, whether it's Mark Zuckerberg building a website in The Social Network, John Doe crafting his murders in Seven, or central character's plot in Gone Girl. With The Killer, the entire movie focuses on how an assassin goes about accomplishing an assignment, and we see every detail of it. Fincher, reteaming with Seven writer Andrew Kevin Walker, is able to make every step a fascinating one, and creates plenty of intrigue as the unnamed protagonist flies around the world. The Killer does not follow a traditional narrative, instead choosing a more episodic structure as it shows the main character going from place to place. However, it's a credit to the filmmakers that it never feels repetitive with little plot progression. Each person the killer's looking for presents their own challenges and opportunities, and we see the clever ways he goes about completing his plan. Using primarily visuals and narration, we already get an understanding of who he is and his motivations, with Michael Fassbender doing so much of his performance using as little dialogue as possible. His intelligence and navigation of the world is what makes him such an intriguing character to follow. Despite his job, he's not depicted as an unfeeling robot, and he does make mistakes on occasion. That's even what gets the whole ball rolling, and it provides an intriguing setup as he goes up the food chain. We're given just the basics of the people he's after, and it's an example of how sometimes less is more. The whole process the killer goes through to get the equipment he needs and to travel to his needed location is fascinating to watch unfold. Fincher makes good use of the different locations, including the streets of Paris and the various airports visited by the killer. Even the use of product placement is cleverly done, as familiar companies and products are used to enhance the killer's actions rather than being there to sell us something. Fincher uses the likes of Hertz, Amazon, and others to show how he works and to comment on our everyday reliance on these companies and what their purpose is. Applying them to an assassin who has to stay hidden in a time filled with newfangled technology only adds more intrigue and interest to the character. Through it all, we get a gripping score from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, which fits the lead character and the world he inhabits so well. The Killer presents another strong effort from David Fincher, one of the most exciting directors of the last 30 years. He's able to take this simple premise of an assassin preparing for these kills and makes the careful plotting a major part of his character progression. There's an intrigue in following him around and seeing the different ways he dispatches of the people on his list. That does not sound pleasant, but Fincher has often been good at exploring the darker side of humanity. He does not normally direct films of characters we necessarily sympathize with, and are usually far removed from most ordinary people, but he nonetheless manages to pull us in.